make it. Too many people, they don't let me down, but I keep it real, no time for hating. I'm always on that PC trying to shape my sound. See, I'm just trying to make it. I've got some people I cannot let it down. Aiming for the top of the mountain. Not there yet, but I've left the ground. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Oh, I've left the ground. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah. Make it, yeah, make it, yeah, yeah.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
Man, welcome back, y'all. Hold up, man. I think I'm having a microphone issue. Hold up, real quick. Let me try to get this right. But in the meantime, let me get my music playing. We gonna go Otis. Yeah. Right, it's in my ear. Hold on, what did I just click for that one? What was it? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this shit doing. I'm not used to it. You're not recognizing my shit, bro. Y'all stay right here for a second. I'm about to go out and come back in. Y'all stay right here. I'll be right back. Y'all stay right here. I'll be right back. We're gonna do a real quick check. I gotta check it for myself, so hold up. We're gonna do a real quick check. I gotta check it for myself, so hold up. I guess we can work off of that. I'm not sure, y'all. If I can fix it later on in the show, I'll try to. But yeah, welcome back, y'all, to another episode. Let's talk with Jay vs. Jordan, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. On your way in, as usual, hit that like, subscribe, share, turn the notice on. All that in the bag of chips. We trying to grow around here, and I can only do it with y'all here. So appreciate that. Do your boy a favor. Y'all see the title of the channel. I mean, y'all see the title of the show. Y'all saw the thumbnail. We're going to talk about something that happened very recently. And if you're an American, if you claim you're about law and order, you should be highly disturbed about this. You should be highly disturbed, because I'm highly disturbed about it. And I think I have a good conscience of staying on what's right and what's wrong type shit. You know, some people disagree, but it is what it is. In my personal view, I believe I can call balls and strikes. We had an incident that happened up in Georgia. And it seemed to be a couple of incidents that keep happening up in Georgia as of recent, where things are just not going the way you would think they would go if we were on the straight and narrow. White lies can ruin lives. And that's a lesson that's been taught in America for a long time that people don't want to speak about, but it's something that we actually need to. I'm going to actually show y'all a few videos of what situation I'm referring to, just to give a quick little refresher. And then we're going to break down the situation. I actually am going to drop the link because I want to see if people want to disagree, because I know there's a certain segment of society right now who seem to be a little emboldened in the way that they're acting, in the way that they're carrying themselves. And the cracks are starting to show in the armor that they claim they had to be the superior so-called group. The cracks are showing. The things that people have always been saying, they're starting to show. But I'm gonna show you something, y'all. I'm gonna show you something, and we'll see how it goes. So supposedly there was a mother in Georgia who child almost got kidnapped in Walmart around a whole bunch of people. And yeah, so either way though, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that and show the flaws in our justice system, because, you know, tonight is cop night and we can cover every aspect of the judicial system. And today we're going to talk about all of it from head to toe. So let's get it, y'all. Let's see what we got.
Cobb County mother tells Atlanta News First she lived every parent's worst nightmare after police say someone tried to kidnap her child.
Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer's live tonight at the Cobb County Jail. Bridget, this happened while they were at a Walmart.
Blair and Carly, this certainly is something this mother would like to forget. Tonight I talked to her and she walked us through those terrifying moments where she thought she was going to lose her child.
Did someone try to take you from mommy? Yeah.
Caroline Miller's trip to Walmart last week with her two children, Nova and Ju, started off pretty normal.
Nova, of course, wanted to ride the little motorized cart, so that's what we got on, and it had actually ended up breaking down.
She says a man then walked over to her in one of the aisles.
So that's when the man came up to me and asked, do you know where the Tylenol is? And I was like, oh, it's over there. And as soon as I did that, that's when he just picked him up out of my arms.
Miller says she then played a terrifying game of tug of war for about 10 seconds, which felt like an eternity.
And then he just stared at me and then goes, oh, I just wanted to get him out of your lap so you could get up and help me.
Police say it was this man, 56-year-old Mahendra Patel. Ackworth police tracked him down and arrested him after he left the Walmart. 2-year-old Jude was not hurt, and his sister was unharmed as well, something Miller is grateful for today.
There really are people out here in a mile radius of us right now that have ill intentions, that are targeting people, that are planning to do these things. Just be prepared for it when it does.
And we're told Patel is here at the Cobb County Jail tonight facing multiple charges, including kidnapping as well as battery charges. Police also tell us they are working with multiple agencies in this investigation. We're live in Cobb County. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
All right, y'all. Oh my God, bro. We gotta figure out what's up with this audio, bro. It's like, it's really not recognizing none of my shit. Is that better? Yeah, man, I don't know why my shit been doing all this fucking up and shit. But either way, though, can't even hear the music now. That's crazy. Fault. All right, whatever, folks. We just gonna roll with this. We gonna roll with this, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear what the hell I'm saying. So pretty much y'all got the gist, right? So there was a mother shopping at Walmart, and her claim is, let me get back to her face. Let me get to her face.
County mother.
Just let me get her face on here. This woman right here, y'all, claimed that a man approached her and asked her where to find some Tylenol. And in the midst of her pointing to where the Tylenol was, he tried to snatch her kid in the middle of Walmart. In the middle of Walmart. All these people in here in the middle of Walmart. And she's on here straight-faced it, saying that, you got to be vigilant. There's people out here, and you just got to be ready for it to happen whenever it happens, because it might happen to you, all that shit. Right? The news ate it up. There's a man that's in jail. And to go even further, y'all, they got in touch with the father. They got in touch with the father because, I'm gonna hit this point a little bit later, but they got in touch with the father later on. And I'll let y'all see the video with the father too, so we can get a full gist. He had some things he wanted to say too, because this is one of those type of families that they criticize my community for all the time, but they ain't say a fucking word about this family. But either way, though, check this out. Here goes the father.
Police say a man is now in jail after trying to snatch the toddler at that Walmart. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Ackworth tonight. And Denise, you had a chance to talk to the family and see that little boy.
And he is just darling. And thankfully, he's fine. The parents, though, they're still a little shaken about what they say happened inside this Walmart on Cobb Parkway.
It's terrifying now. I couldn't even imagine not having him.
Jeremiah Walker is keeping his 2-year-old son very close these days. The little boy, his 4-year-old sister, and their mom were all shopping last week at this Walmart when a stranger tried to snatch the little boy right out of his mother's arms.
The guy asked where the Tylenol was and then proceeded to grab him, and she pulled back. She said, no, what are you doing?
Police say surveillance video shows there was a brief struggle. Then the man walked away and continued to shop. He used his credit card at the self-checkout, and that's how police knew who they were looking for.
Able to see what the name of the card was, and with that information, we were able to identify who the suspect was, and use flock cameras as well to track him down and find out the type of car he was in and where he lived.
56-year-old Mahendra Patel is in the Cobb County Jail, charged with kidnapping, simple assault, and battery. Walker is relieved an arrest was made so quickly and thankful his family is safe.
She was shaking for an hour after that. Like physically, you could see that she was shaking.
He says this is a tough lesson, but a crucial one. We all need to be aware of our surroundings at all times.
If you see something like that happening, you scream immediately. You call for attention, you call for help, and scream as loud as you can. That way, again, if anything were to happen, people are looking, people are paying attention.
And always keep an eye on our children.
Keep them very close.
And police say they're working with other agencies to try to determine if Patel could be connected to other crimes in the area. Reporting live in Ackworth, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, certainly a lot of unanswered questions about that one. Denise, thanks.
All right, so y'all got the gist, right? Mother and her kids are shopping at Walmart, man. Shopping at Walmart, and this random man, old man, comes up and tries to snatch her son. You got the story from the mother, and you got the news reporting it, and then you got to hear the father, the so-called father, who's, you know, in his kid's life every day. You know, we had him give his account of what he was told by his baby mama. Yeah, because that's his baby mama, y'all. This actually scared a lot of people in that community. And the police acted very fast, y'all. You heard how the police officer said that we found him because he used his debit card, and we found him that way. You know, we used cameras, you know, to figure out which vehicle was his, and we tracked him down. We got him, y'all. We got him. They arrested that man within 3 days. The Patel, Mr. Patel, at his home. No interview, no questioning of him. Just arrested the man. Took him into jail, then questioned him. Already had an arrest warrant ready to go, ready to lock his ass up for trying to dare snatch this white woman's child. Well, there's a little twist to the story, y'all. It's just a little twist to the story.
Even a thumbs.
Just a little wrinkle. And we're gonna go to Law and Crime Network. Shout out to the Law and Crime Network for a little bit more information on this, because this man, as of Tuesday, had been arrested and in jail with no bond, facing felony charges for 41 days because this one woman said that this man tried to snatch her child in Walmart. And there's cameras all around, y'all. All around. Officers claim they're doing an investigation. We're going to find out how. You'll see. I'm just going to put it like that. You'll see what I'm going to say later. And it's going to piss you off. But Law and Crime. Let's see what Law and Crime has for us. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to fast forward this up a little bit, yeah. Because I want to talk a little bit on this one right here. And I actually said I was going to drop the link. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link for anybody that wanted to get up in here. Even though my audio is messed up. I hope it's all right, man. Y'all give me a 1 in the chat if it's all right. If y'all can hear that. If y'all can hear what I'm saying. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long show of me just talking to my goddamn self. Yeah, I'm dropping that link right there. But either way, though, Law and Crime, y'all. Law and Crime. Let's see what they got. Let's see what Law and Crime got for us.
A Georgia man is sitting behind bars right now, accused of trying to kidnap a toddler at Walmart. But his attorney claims that newly released surveillance footage tells a very different story. We have the video, we reviewed every frame, and we're going to speak with the man's attorney, Ashley Merchant, who says this was no crime, but a terrible misunderstanding. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime, Jesse Weber. What began as a routine trip to Walmart for Tylenol has left a man jailed for nearly a month. Mahendra Patel is accused of trying to kidnap a toddler inside the store. The thing about this is surveillance footage that we've obtained is now challenging the official narrative, raising questions about whether or not there is an innocent man behind bars. So I want to take you back to the day that this all apparently went down. And there are two very different versions of this story. So on March 18th, Caroline Miller, mother of two, was shopping at a Walmart on Cobb Parkway in Ackworth, Georgia. This is outside of Atlanta. want you to take a look at this surveillance footage from inside the store. So Miller is riding a motorized cart with her 4-year-old daughter at her feet and her 2-year-old son in her lap. Now, she later told police that a stranger, and that's the man you see in the gray shirt there, 56-year-old Mahendra Patel, approached her under the guise of asking where to find Tylenol before allegedly trying to snatch her child. Now, according to a press release from the Ackworth Police Department, it reads, quote, officers spoke with the mother and witnesses and learned that the suspect approached her and asked a question about Tylenol. The suspect then grabbed the juvenile and attempted to pull the child away from the mother. The mother was able to break away with the juvenile and the suspect fled the area. The juvenile was not injured during the incident. So Miller claimed that this tug of war ensued, with Patel attempting to pull her son out of her arms before she was able to fight him off. And this is what she told WSB TV in Atlanta back in March. When I pointed my arm out this way to point to the direction of where the Tylenol was, that is when he reached down, put both of his hands on my child, and grabbed him out of my lap. I'm like, no, no, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? He pulled him. I pulled him back. We're tug of warring. Now, shortly after this encounter, she reported the incident to a Walmart employee. And you can see her speaking with a worker on the surveillance footage. And what happens 3 days later? Patel was arrested and charged with attempted kidnapping, simple battery, and simple assault. But this is where the story takes a turn. Why? Patel's attorney, Ashley Merchant, she says that this surveillance footage shows a very different story. And really, it's just one of a misunderstanding, not malice. Now, Ashley, who we're going to chat with in a minute, provided us with segments of Walmart's surveillance footage, which she claims contradicts Miller's account. Now, we watched through the footage and saw everything from when Patel enters the store right up to the interaction, the aftermath, and I want to take you through it, and you can decide for yourself what you think might have happened here. So at around 8:16 p.m., you can see Mahendra.
Make sure everybody is paying attention. Make sure you're paying attention to everything they're about to show you right now, because I want y'all to understand this. The police had this surveillance footage. They had this, or they had the opportunity to get this before charging this man. Okay? Watch the surveillance footage. Just pay attention.
Patel entered the Walmart. 3 minutes later, at 8:19 p.m., Patel emerges from an aisle, scanning the shelves, presumably searching for Tylenol, and after a brief look around, he ducks back into the aisle. Moments later, he reappears, still seemingly searching for the meds. The next time he appears from that aisle is when he spots Caroline Miller in a motorized scooter with her 2 young children. Patel, on tape, appears to approach Miller, according to Merchant, to ask about the Tylenol, and the two talk briefly before he steps back, allowing her to guide him toward the correct aisle. And as they turn into the aisle, something happens. The angle kind of obscures the interaction, but Miller claims that is when Patel tried to grab her son, but the footage doesn't seem to show a struggle, right?
Supposedly that man, y'all, tried to grab her child right there. He tried to snatch her child away. Tried to kidnap it. Tried to kidnap her child. But watch the rest of the video.
Patel claims he was just trying to prevent her son from falling off the scooter. Now, Miller points Patel toward the Tylenol before backing up, only to crash into a display, catching the attention of a bystander in an orange shirt who rushes to help with her children. And Patel reappears holding a box of medicine, speaks briefly to the man in orange, and then continues on, calmly walking past Miller as if nothing unusual occurred. And I'm going to show you this from a different angle. So from another camera, we see Patel on the right-hand side emerging from that aisle, walking out of view to talk with Miller. And there they are, exchanging words before Miller can be seen leading Patel to the aisle. Now, we can't see what happens when they disappear behind a display case, but whatever it was, it did catch the attention of the man in the orange shirt. You can see him turn his head. And when we see Miller and Patel again, we get a much closer look at Miller directing Patel down the aisle before turning around to leave. And from this angle, we can see again when she crashes into that display case and the subsequent efforts of the man in the orange shirt to help her. Patel seems to re-enter the frame, medicine in hand, exchanging words with the bystander, appears to walk away, doesn't look unhurried, doesn't look unbothered. There's an overhead angle inside the store that shows Patel stopping to show Miller the Tylenol that he found, receiving a thumbs up in return. He checks out at the register, pays with his debit card, pauses to chat with the employee before exiting the store. Nothing on its face that might suggest he was fleeing the scene, as has been suggested. But in spite of what we just showed you here, Ackworth police arrested Patel on March 21st. He's currently sitting in a Cobb County jail without bond. Totally off topic, but very important. Did you know that high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor?
Now, let's get that part that they can use, all right? All right, so we watched the video. We had a few seconds of whether or not you want to consider this being an attempt to take this woman's child. A few seconds. And afterwards, the man, he went on to buy what he was in there trying to buy. dealt with Walmart employees, checked out, talked to the checkout guy, on the way out, the people that like to check your receipts and things of that sort. And then later on, she ended up trying to claim that he tried to steal her son. All this is happening within 45 minutes of itself. But we're gonna keep going, y'all. We're gonna keep going.
15%. So to figure out what is going on here, I want to bring on the woman representing Mr. Patel, criminal defense attorney Ashley Merchant. Ashley, thank you so much for coming here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Now
And just so y'all know, this is the lady that helped get Young Thug off. Young Thuggy helped get him off. That's who the Indian guy hired. Miss Merchant ain't cheap. She ain't cheap. She ain't one of them bottom hoes. She one of them top shelf females. She know what she doing and she know the law. She's gonna actually talk about this a little bit, and I want y'all to see this. And she's a lot nicer about it than what I'm gonna be at the end of this. But either way though, let's keep going.
You have said that this is all a misunderstanding. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't know what the disconnect is. I mean, the audience just saw the footage that we played. We see the criminal charges. What is the misunderstanding?
Yeah, there is a huge misunderstanding. And I think it's as simple as two people, experiencing the same thing, but experiencing it in very different ways. I mean, it's obvious from watching the footage that Mr. Patel was not meaning any harm. He wasn't trying to abduct a child. He wasn't trying to assault a child. I mean, he's charged with battery. He's charged with assault. He's charged with attempted kidnapping. And if you watch the footage, that definitely didn't happen. If you watch it and you view it through Mr. Patel's perspective, this is a lady who's in a handicap cart, who he thought is handicapped, got two young children, and you can see from the video is having some trouble managing them, having some trouble with the cart. And she starts to rise to point out, and you can see this on the video, starts to rise to point out where the Tylenol is. And it looks like her child is falling, which is really confirmed by the fact that moments later, when Mr. Patel leaves and goes to get the Tylenol, the child does fall and she runs the child's foot over. I mean, literally seconds later, this does happen. So it's very reasonable that that's what Mr. Patel thinks is going on. The fact that someone would interpret that as an attempted kidnapping, it defies logic. There's a gentleman within arm's reach. He's watching the entire thing, and I've spoken to him, and he said—
This is the guy in the orange shirt?
This is the guy in the orange shirt. Yeah. We interviewed him. My investigator interviewed him, and he said, if anything was happening, a kidnapping, an abduction was happening, I would have done something. There was no struggle, nothing like that. I mean, he's right there. He would have done something. And you can tell he's a good Samaritan, because when she does bump into the cart, when she does bump into the actual end cap and she does run her child's foot over, he immediately jumps, so this guy is clearly watching, clearly there to help. And he doesn't do anything, and on these videos, you see all these different Walmart employees walking around. Nobody runs over. If Mr. Patel is trying to kidnap a child in the middle of a crowded Walmart, someone's going to come.
Why is she alleging this then? Why do police believe there was something more nefarious going on here?
I mean, I think the problem with the police is that they didn't fully investigate. I think that the police regularly have what I would call blinders on, and they only see one version, and they don't actually investigate the whole case. I don't know why this lady would make this up. I don't know why she would make this allegation. It's very suspect. She waited 30 minutes to call 911. I mean, I've got two daughters. If someone was trying to kidnap one of my children, you better believe I'll be screaming at the top of my lungs, running around like a crazy person in that Walmart. That's not happening. She's literally joking with this gentleman moments later, and then, puttering along on her cart. She waits 30 minutes to call 911. I mean, this is not the reaction of someone who's actually just had their child attempted to be kidnapped.
Do you know if police attempted to contact your client before taking him into custody, get his side of the story?
No, they didn't. They took a warrant out and they arrested him. They did do an interview with him when they arrested him, and he told exactly what he's told us. He told them exactly what happened. So they did that, but they did that after they had already secured a warrant for kidnapping.
Why is he, by the way, being held without bond?
Yeah, that's kind of—
I want y'all to pay attention to what she just said and the question that was just asked. They didn't question him before arresting him. So pretty much from the police point of view, their perspective, they got a claim that somebody did something without reviewing any evidence besides figuring out who that person was and figuring out a way to track them down. That's all they took. They secured an arrest warrant from a magistrate judge off of the claims of one individual without verifying if that information was correct, and arrested this man. Showed up at his house, put him in handcuffs, and took him to jail. And the only evidence that they had, y'all, was that somebody said something. We're going to go deeper into why this is a problem.
of a legal maneuvering and legal snafu almost. I mean, it's a problem with our system. What's happened is the officer arrested him for kidnapping of a minor. He took significant liberties with that warrant. There was no evidence of kidnapping. And so he misrepresented some facts to the magistrate to get that warrant. That is such a serious crime that you don't get a bond when you're in front of that magistrate judge. So Mr. Patel's sitting in jail without bond. And then we file and get a bond hearing. And the district attorney decided instead of giving us that bond hearing, which is an adversarial hearing, which I can subpoena witnesses, I can cross-examine witnesses, instead of doing that, they wanted to go to a grand jury in a secret private setting where there's no other side, there's no defense lawyer questioning, there's no subpoenaing of evidence, and present it in a one-sided fashion to that grand jury. And they did that. And so when they indicted the case, it was no longer in front of the magistrate judge. It went to the new judge. It went to the trial judge. The superior court judge is what we call it here in Georgia. And so that bond hearing was done away with. So we were denied the ability to get bond. And we've had an administration change here in this county for the DA's office. And the new DA's office does not freely consent to bond like the old district attorney's office did. And so we're in a situation where I've been asking repeatedly for a consent bond and can't get it. And so the first opportunity we had for bond is next Tuesday. And so that's when the bond is going to be heard. And at that point, he's going to be in jail over 40 days.
Let's put that to the side. I want to talk about what we can expect from the hearing. It seems to me what's going on is there is a disagreement over the footage. Why do I say that, Ashley? Because the police are saying, essentially, the video we just saw was edited. Sergeant Eric Mistretta of the Ackworth Police Department said in a statement, the video released by the attorney does not show the entire incident. It seems to have been edited. It's not the video we have. Now, the Daily Mail says they never got any copy of the footage that the police department says they have. What's going on here, Ashley? What's your response?
I am so glad you asked that. So let me start with Sergeant Mistretta. He also issued a statement when Mr. Patel was first arrested and said that Mr. Patel tried to flee the scene. And, you know, we can clearly see from the videos that that's not the case. What happened is we've got all the videos. We sent them to you. There's 20 different surveillance videos, over an hour each, many, many hours of footage. The news is not going to play 20 hours of surveillance footage. What the news is going to play are clips of that surveillance footage. And so what we did was we put together a 5.5 or so minute clip, and there's two views. So this is really important. There's two views of this incident, this alleged incident. There's a view where you can see Mr. Patel's back, and there's a view from the ceiling. And what I wanted was I wanted the viewer to be able to see everything clearly, not just one clip. And so what we did was in real time, we had it go back and forth. So you see the camera where you see his back, and then you see the exact same moments, but from the overhead camera. And then it goes back, and you see the back camera, and then you see the overhead camera. All of it's there. It's just there in a different sequence so that the viewer can actually get more of a 360 view of what's happening. It's not edited. It's not cut. It's not anything like that. It's just two different views that are compiled. It's called a compilation is what it's called. But all of that footage has been released. We have all of the footage. So
just to be clear, nothing was cut out, like the moment when he allegedly tried to kidnap the child, nothing like that. I guess the question is, why are the police saying this? I mean, I imagine you presented this footage to law enforcement, right? Did they have it? Have you gotten a response about presenting this?
You know, I would hope that they have it. I don't know what they have because they have not responded to us. And in their police report, they said that they viewed it, but that they didn't secure it. So God knows.
Ah, shit, fuck. They're acting real fucking funny. Let me share that again. I was trying to why the fuck did it do that? I don't even know why I did that. Let's see. I gotta share the screen again. He even stopped my music from playing too. It's crazy. What's up to Marcus? Shout out to Marcus. One of y'all need to hop the hell up here so I can get my shit popping. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Let me see if I can enter this bitch again. Yeah, because I'm trying to get this audio right. I need to do something on my computer side, but I can't do it. I can't do it without some other people up in here.
Let's see, echo. Either way though. Y'all see me over here? Can y'all hear me over here? Let me see. What's my audio looking like? Let me check my audio on this one. Edit mic, cancellation. Let's see, settings, audio, wired headset. Earpiece. Can y'all hear me now? Can people hear me now? Let's see. Let me see if y'all can hear me on this. Yes. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, we're gonna go with that, y'all. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that for at least right now. Different angle. Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, we're gonna go with that, even though I can't hear shit on my side. Let's see, audio. What the fuck? Earpiece camera. I can't hear shit on my side. That's it. I guess that's how it's gonna work. Let me turn the volume up. That really help out. Can't hear a goddamn thing. Still can't hear shit. Still can't hear shit. No, can't hear nothing. Can't hear a goddamn thing, but I know I'm talking, and I know y'all can hear. Oh, Lord. I guess I should have just joined on the tablet. That would actually help me out a little bit better. Yeah, that would have helped out a lot better, because, I can hear shit now. So, that's better than nothing. Yeah, that's better than nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna be over here for a second, y'all. Be over here for a second. See, but yeah, let me go back a little bit because we missed a little bit.
Together, a 5.5 or so minute clip, and there's two views. So this is really important. There's two views of this incident, this alleged incident. There's a view where you can see Mr. Patel's back, and there's a view from the ceiling. And what I wanted the viewer to be able to see everything clearly, not just one clip. And so what we did was in real time, we had it go back and forth. So you see the camera where you see his back, and then you see the exact same moments, but from the overhead camera. And then it goes back, and you see the back camera, and then you see the overhead camera. All of it's there. It's just there in a different sequence so that the viewer can actually get more of a 360 view of what's happening. It's not edited. It's not cut. It's not anything like that. It's just two different views that are compiled. It's called a compilation is what it's called. But all of that footage has been released. We have all of the footage.
So just to be clear, nothing was cut out, like the moment when he allegedly tried to kidnap the child, nothing like that. I guess the question is, why are the police saying this? I mean, I imagine you presented this footage to law enforcement, right? Did they have it? Have you gotten a response about presenting this?
You know, I would hope that they have it. I don't know what they have it because they have not responded to us, and in their police report, they said that they viewed it, but they didn't secure it. So God knows what they actually have, because they left that Walmart without getting the footage. We subpoenaed the footage. And so what we did was we actually have a business record certificate from Walmart that is admissible in court that says this is a true and exact copy of the entire footage. The court is very specific. That is a sworn statement from Walmart that we have the entire footage. We have submitted that to the district attorney's office. I don't know why the police have continued to make these misrepresentations, but it's repeated. And it's getting ridiculous. They made misrepresentations in the arrest warrant. They made misrepresentations in their report that Mr. Patel fled. He didn't flee. He checked out with his own debit card. He talked to two separate employees after this. He was having a good old time at Walmart, chatting up different employees. He didn't flee. He did the exact opposite of fleeing.
And so to be clear, you don't know what police looked at.
Now I want y'all to understand something. And she said it loud and she said it proud. The police are misrepresenting. She's being nice when it comes to the police. They didn't misrepresent anything. They just bold-faced lied. They lied to lock up an innocent man. That's what happened. They lied. Because if they had the surveillance footage, if they watched the video of this so-called incident happening, yo, they could have obviously came to the conclusion that there's nothing to see here. But instead of coming to that conclusion, they started fabricating things that didn't happen. They said that this 50-something-year-old man fled the scene. Fled. He's a runner. He's a track star. Ran away after he tried to snatch his kid up. Clearly, we didn't see that. I don't like that the attorney's being nice about a misunderstanding or a misrepresentation. No, they're just flat out lying. All because a white woman said something happened. But let's continue.
What footage they have, right?
No, we don't know what police looked at. But what we do know is that we have the true and complete and full copy of the Walmart surveillance videos.
And do you plan to present that in court at this upcoming hearing?
Definitely. And we've already filed notice that we do that. And we filed the business record certificate, which is what we're required to do. You know, it's once the business owner, once Walmart certifies the records, they're admissible in court. They're ruled authentic. And so that's been done. There's been no challenge to it. You know, the police apparently in the news have challenged the authenticity of it, but there's been no challenge in court.
What about the prosecutor's office? What have they said about it?
You know, the prosecutor's office is not, not been willing to consent to bond, which is disappointing. And so we'll see. We'll see what their position is on bond next week. But I mean, I'm hoping that they would view all of the footage and do the right thing.
When you say that, so if you present this footage, right, and the court looks at it and says, wait a minute, I don't see what's being alleged here. Could the case just be dropped at that hearing? I mean, what can we expect would happen at that hearing? What's the best case scenario for you and your client?
The best case scenario is the district attorney drops the case entirely. And the judge actually doesn't have the ability to do that. So it's crazy because you have the ability in civil lawsuits for a judge to dismiss a case, but not in criminal lawsuits. So the judge actually cannot dismiss the charges. What the judge can do is grant a bond, but we need the district attorney to actually dismiss the charges.
I want to ask you about something else, Ashley. So this change.org petition, this is demanding justice for Mr. Patel. It has surged. It's amassed thousands of signatures from supporters who call his arrest a grave miscarriage of justice. In fact, part of that petition reads, while it is undeniable that child kidnapping is a grievous crime that needs to be tackled rigorously, Patel has been singled out without compelling evidence, leaving a question mark on the fairness of the justice system of Cobb County. And one supporter's stark warning cuts pretty deep because that person writes, I am Patel. It's a metaphorical sense, but I've learned one harsh truth in this country: don't help anyone. Even if someone is dying in front of you, don't intervene, because trying to do the right thing can cost you everything. There's also this Give, Send, Go campaign to raise funds to help the Patels. Ashley, what is your reaction to the public support that Patel is receiving?
It's amazing because normally, I'm trying to beat down doors to get people to come to court for my client. And in this case, we actually can't handle the volume of support. I don't believe I've ever had a client that had so many members of the community that know him.
I want y'all to think about that. This man has a petition to get him out of jail. Like, look, he ain't going the money route, calling a little kid the N-word and just trying to raise money. He's actually got a petition out there because he's wrongfully arrested, and he wants to get a lot of people to sign this so he can get out of jail. And this man has over 30,000 signatures. The community is speaking that this man is not. We've witnessed the video as a community, and we know that this man is innocent of the crime that you're accusing him of. And then he has an actual Give, Send, Go. That same shit where somebody can raise over $700,000 for calling somebody the N-word, calling a child that. But he can't even get $250. It's amazing to me, yo. It's amazing to me how backwards our community is. But let's continue.
Him personally, and I'm not talking about just random members of the community. I'm talking pillars of the community that know him well, that have called us. We had, I'll tell you a crazy story on that. My kids go to school here in Cobb County, and one of my daughters came home from school and said, my teacher knows your client and said, I hope you get him out. I mean, it's, this is a teacher that teaches children who's saying this to a child about this alleged kidnapper. We've had neighbors who called us and said, we love Mick. They call him Mick. Mick is what he goes by. We love Mick. Our kids wait for the bus, and the bus stop wait is in his driveway. I mean, it's just lots of kids, lots of people have reached out and said, we know him, we love him. Not just people that don't know him, that have seen this and said this is an injustice, but people that know him, that have been in his home, that have shared meals with him, that know him in the community. They love him. And, this is just, it's awful, because if the police had bothered to talk to anybody, they could have verified why he was there. I mean, he was there to buy Tylenol because he cares for his 86-year-old mother who lives with him, who's immobile and suffers from osteoarthritis. He was there to buy her Tylenol. They seized his phone. They could have seen the texts in the phone from his daughter, who's in medical school, who is literally texting him which type of Tylenol to get for Nana. I mean, this is all things that the police could have done if they had bothered to actually investigate.
Why do you think then? I mean, taking that as true, why do you think there was this rush to arrest it and what seems to be, you're suggesting, a sloppy, incomplete investigation?
I think that Ms. Miller made allegations that were taken out of context and incorrect, and I think that the police did not do enough follow-up. I think that they made some public statements that this is a public outcry, and anytime there's a public outcry and the community thinks that there's a child kidnapper on the loose, the police are very quick to make arrests, very quick. And they sort of did more to ignite this public clamoring and, the public being so terrified of whatever's happening. And so the public really wanted an arrest, and the police want to deliver. They want to make the public happy. They want to solve the case. And so I think they're just very quick to make an arrest without looking at everything.
And talking about Ms. Miller for a second, so it appears that she had previously filed a lawsuit back in 2019 against Lyft, alleging she was sexually assaulted by a driver. This is according to reporting from the Associated Press. And the outlet reports that she was one of 19 women who filed jointly against the rideshare company in December of 2019. It's a case that still appears to be unresolved. Ashley, do you believe anything about that is relevant to your case at hand?
Oh, I definitely.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to what they're talking about now, because this is something that we have to do. And shout out to Uncanny. He said he learned the hard way about them Candyman games. That boy on that Candyman shit. They're on that Candyman shit. But they're going to start investigating, at least she will, as a defense attorney. I'm going to start looking into the person that's actually making these accusations. And supposedly this lady is a part of a lawsuit with a bunch of other women accusing Lyft of having a driver that raped her. So is there any connection between the two? This situation and that situation? Let's see what she has to say.
I think that it could go to what the motivations were in her making these allegations, whether the motivations are to sue Walmart, to sue my client, something like that. That could definitely be at play here. And, I had to investigate that case because we found the lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, you have to, for a civil case, you have to swear to the facts in your lawsuit. And so the facts that she swore to are that she was raped. And so I went and I pulled the police report because if, obviously if she is a victim of sexual assault, then that's not something that we want to talk about. I pulled the police report and she specifically told the police she was not raped. So, you've got this statement to law enforcement where she says she's not raped. And then you've got this statement in a lawsuit where she's trying to get money saying that she is. That's inconsistent. And so if she's made prior false allegations, whether the motivation is for attention, is for money, whatever the motivations are, that's highly relevant to her allegations in this case. Highly relevant.
I was going to ask you how that might actually come into a legal case, right? She's not the defendant, right? Your client is. How would you be able to present evidence of this unless she takes the stand and you can cross-examine her about this? Is that the way that you'd be able to introduce it?
That's exactly how. She would have to take the stand. She would have to take the stand to sustain this case. And so if she takes the stand, then we're permitted to cross-examine her about this because it's what we consider a prior false allegation. And so because the allegation was made that she swore in a complaint that she was raped, and then she told law enforcement that she wasn't, that's a prior false allegation, and that's admissible to impeach her.
As we were talking about Patel's bond hearing, it's set for May 6th. He currently remains behind bars. He has the support. He has you backing him, Ashley. How is he doing right now? How's his family doing right now?
Look at that face, y'all. And really, really pay attention. I want you to really think hard and pay attention to how this country is right now. Look at his face. Look at his face. Let me see at 2130. 2130. All right. Look at his face. And then look at her face. You see her face? You see her face? Now let's go back and look at his face. We all know how this country is. If you over here on my channel, you know how this country is. Look at his face. Do y'all think all it took was for that young white girl to say he did something and they saw him and said, yep, he did it? Is that outside of anybody's belief? Look at his face. Look at his face. Once again, look at her face. Look at her face. She said somebody did something to her, y'all. She said somebody tried to get her, bro. They tried to snatch her kid up. They tried to snatch this woman's kid up, y'all. And when they find out who the person supposedly is, this is his face. You think something's going on right now? I'm just saying, man, do y'all think something's going on right now? Because remember, y'all, we just watched the video. We just watched the video. If the cops did their job and investigated like they were supposed to, do you think that man would be in jail for over 40-something days? Or was it that white girl said something and they saw his face and he was just guilty? Just a question for you. Let's keep going.
Right now, how's his family doing right now?
I think he's doing better than his family. It's been tough. At first, it was really tough because the news was all condemning him. Before we got this video footage and before we were able to actually expose the truth, the news and the police, Sergeant Mistretta had made statements, very specific statements about, thank God we caught him. This child could have died. Just very prejudicial statements. And so it was really tough at the beginning. Now that the story has come out and the truth has come out, things have definitely shifted, but it's still awful. He's incarcerated without bond. It's horrible. Can you imagine being snatched from your life without any warning for 40 days? If you think about it, if you take a vacation for 5 days, you plan for, 5 weeks. This is a man who has business, has family, and he was snatched without any warning from his life for, at this point, almost 40 days. That's significant. But it's very difficult for his family. He's got 2 adult children. They're both in school. They're actually in graduate school. And so, right now it's May, it's finals time. This is very difficult for them. This is difficult for his wife. She's having to maintain their businesses while he's in custody. It's difficult for their friends. It's just awful that he's had to sit in jail this long, especially when we have a video that shows he's innocent.
Does he plan to take any legal action in response?
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a lot's going to depend on how this works out. I mean, I think at this point he'd be happy with a dismissal and an apology. But you know, we'll see, because he's still in jail and we're still finding out what's happening. We don't have the state's file yet, so you know, we don't know what the police had in front of them. I think that will really inform that decision, to see what evidence the police actually had in front of them when they made this. Did Ms. Miller lie? Did they not have these surveillance videos? Why did they believe that this was a kidnapping case?
And just to be 100% clear, is there any footage that's missing? Is there anything part of this encounter you say, we just don't have this part's obscured, we haven't seen this part? Is there anything missing? Or do you say, I have a full picture of everything that went down in that store and afterwards?
There is nothing missing. We have got so much footage. We have him entering the store, we have him leaving the store, we have him driving. We have all of the relevant surveillance footage, everything from when he was in that store.
Ashley Merchant, we're going to keep an eye out for this. Thank you so much for sharing the footage for us. We sent it, we presented it for our audience as well to see, but thank you so much and appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Well, having said that, I'm ready, Ms. Merchant.
Great. Thank you so much, Judge. And Judge, thank you for letting some people in support appear by Zoom. Also, the jury assembly room has been opened for other supporters. We have right now about 150 people down there, and they're still pouring in.
Y'all didn't hear a goddamn word I said. I didn't know I had my other shit on mute. Y'all didn't hear nothing I said. But yeah, a lot of shit just transpired, y'all. I'm putting it like that. And now his attorney's you're about to see the court case actually be argued at his bond hearing. He wasn't allowed to get a bond. Now she's about to argue for his bond. He's been sitting there for 41 days. Yeah, I didn't know I had that shit on mute. It don't matter though. Here we go.
Sure, that was open for you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Judge, we are here because the state has accused Mahendra Patel, he goes by Mick, but Mick Patel, of, at first it was kidnapping and then it moved to attempted kidnapping. So he was arrested on March 21st of 2025 for an incident that allegedly happened at a local Walmart on March 18th. The officer took out a warrant for kidnapping, not attempted, assault and battery. Subsequently, the state indicted that case on April 3rd. We had a bond and probable cause hearing scheduled for April 16th, but when the state indicted it, they indicted it for attempted kidnapping and then misdemeanor assault and misdemeanor bond. So we were not able to have that bond hearing. Mr. Patel was not given bond at first appearance. At that time, he was charged with kidnapping of a minor. The state essentially is alleging that Mr. Patel had an interaction with a lady named Caroline Miller at this local Walmart. They've said that Ms. Miller was pointing out to Mr. Patel where the Tylenol was in the store, and that Mr. Patel grabbed the child and started pulling the child away from Ms. Miller. Ms. Miller has said that they engaged in a back and forth and a tug of war, as she described it, for 10 seconds before she was able to finally get the child back. Luckily, we have video. The video shows that Mr. Patel did lean in to Miss Miller and her child.
And I'm sorry, y'all. Real quick. I wanna go back real fast to this lady making the statement, y'all. And she made this on. I'm gonna just say this. There are a lot of average people out here that could be great actors. There are a lot of women out here that can be great actors. Great actors. Because I'm gonna go back to the news report where they actually did an interview of her. I'm going back to it, y'all, so we can see it again. I want y'all to see how she said all this shit with a straight fucking face. Even got her child agreeing to what she's saying. A little boy, a little child. The one who supposedly got snatched. I want y'all to see this again. Just for the people that just got in here. Watch this.
Every parent's worst nightmare after police say someone tried to kidnap her child.
Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer's live tonight at the Cobb County Jail. Bridget, this happened while they were at a Walmart.
Blair and Carly, this certainly is something this mother would like to forget. Tonight I talked to her and she walked us through those terrifying moments where she thought she was going to lose her child.
Did someone try to take you from mommy?
Yeah. Caroline Miller's trip to Walmart last week with her two.
That part right there.
Walmart last week with her two children. No.
Did someone try to take you from mommy?
Yeah. Caroline Miller's trip.
I'm going to talk about how sick that shit was in a second. But let her keep going so she can actually talk a little bit more.
To Walmart last week with her two children, Nova and Ju, started off pretty normal.
Nova, of course, wanted to ride the little motorized cart, so that's what we got on, and it actually ended up breaking down.
She says a man then walked over to her in one of the aisles.
So that's when the man came up to me and asked, do you know where the Tylenol is? And I was like, oh, it's over there. And as soon as I did that, that's when he just picked him up out of my arms.
Miller says she then played a terrifying game of tug of war for about 10 seconds, which felt like an eternity.
And then he just stared at me and then goes, oh, I just wanted to get him out of your lap so you could get up and help me.
Police say it was this man, 56-year-old Mahendra Patel. Ackworth police tracked him down and arrested him after he left the Walmart. 2-year-old Jude was not hurt, and his sister was unharmed as well, something Miller is grateful for today.
There really are people out here in a mile radius of us right now that have ill intentions, that are targeting people, that are planning to do these things. Just be prepared for it when it does.
And we're told Patel
with a straight effing face. That bitch sat there and lied. With a straight face, y'all. And then try to talk about you. There's people out here, you know, you gotta just be rich. I'm gonna go in on her at the very end, but I'm gonna let Miss Merchant give her point in court. And I want y'all to see how dirty the state actually is. I'm not putting anything on the judge in this one, y'all. I'm not putting anything on the magistrate judge. I'm not putting anything on the judge that's actually hearing this bond hearing. When it comes, just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Well, having said that, I'm ready, Ms. Merchant.
Great. Thank you so much, Judge. And Judge, thank you for letting some people in support appear by Zoom. Also, the jury assembly room has bond hearing. Mr. Patel was not given bond at first appearance. At that time, he was charged with kidnapping of a minor. The state essentially is alleging that Mr. Patel had an interaction with a lady named Caroline Miller at this local Walmart. They've said that Ms. Miller was pointing out to Mr. Patel where the Tylenol was in the store, and that Mr. Patel grabbed the child and started pulling the child away from Ms. Miller. Ms. Miller has said that they engaged in a back and forth and a tug of war, as she described it, for 10 seconds before she was able to finally get the child back. Luckily, we have video. The video shows that Mr. Patel did lean in to Ms. Miller and her child. They were in a handicapped scooter, mobility cart. There's different names. She is admittedly not handicapped, has admitted to that publicly, and was riding it because her child enjoyed it, sort of like a joyride. He interacted with her. We'll show you the entire interaction, but the relevant, super relevant portion is less than 5 seconds. Before he actually,
5 seconds?
Less than 5 seconds.
Okay.
And I'll walk you through that. It's about a 5-minute clip, and I'll walk you through that in a moment. But we're very lucky that we have that. So Ms. Miller pointed to where the Tylenol was. Mr. Patel went, got the Tylenol, and the video couldn't be clearer. Mr. Patel did not try to kidnap this child. what it shows, just to walk you through the timeline, because I think it's important, it shows starting at 8:17, you can see Mr. Patel entering the Walmart. And I'm going to show you parts of this, not all of it. But and if you want to see more of it, we can show you all you want. But what we've done is pull out the relevant parts. So he enters the Walmart at 8:17. Then at 8:18, you can see him enter the pharmacy area. And then you can see at 8:19, he's looking for the Tylenol. So and at the same time, he had his cell phone and he was actually texting his daughter, who's here, because he cares for his 86-year-old mother who has osteoarthritis and requires a special kind of Tylenol. So it was this rapid release gel Tylenol. He was trying to find it, and the daughter who was helping him, the daughter who also has cared for the mother, was actually sent him a picture. So we've actually asked for the cell phone to be returned because we wanted that evidence, but the state, when we asked for it to be returned, they took out a search warrant for it, so it's still in their custody. But we've seen those, and so we know that he was texting about this Tylenol. The first interaction that he has with Miss Miller is at 8:21.
Hey, and look, y'all, I want y'all to pay attention to this guy right here. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. Let me see if y'all can see my cursor. This guy I'm circling right here, I might be covering his head up a little bit with where I'm at. Let me take myself off screen for a second. Let me see. This guy right here at the bottom. That's the prosecutor right here, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, because I'm a little behind in the video, but there's a guy standing right here to her, well, sitting down right here to her left, black suit. That's the prosecutor right here. I want y'all to watch his body language the entire time she's talking. Watch this body language. Pay close attention to this body language. This is the guy that's going to be prosecuting this case on the state's behalf. Watch the fidgeting with his early balding ass. Because if you're a good human being, oh, y'all can't see my cursor. Yeah, if you're a good human being, you wouldn't defend criminals. I don't care what your job is, in my honest opinion. I wouldn't care what your job is. I'm not going to defend no criminal. Especially if I think you're wrong. I tell you, go find another lawyer for that. And some people say you'll go out of business. I guess I'll go out of business. I'm not going to defend somebody that's guilty of a crime and have them on the street. And I'm definitely not going to prosecute somebody that I know is innocent. But make sure y'all watch him. Keep your eye on that early balding ass motherfucker. Either way, I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
And that's the first time you see them. She's in this scooter. He's got his hands in his pockets. This is what I'll call the first interaction. Then you see her sort of puttering along in the mobility cart.
I'm not even gonna let her do the walkthrough. I'm not even gonna let her do the walkthrough talking. I'm gonna let her show the video, and I want you to see before she tries to show the video. Watch him try to object to this.
The police. She was outside with her father and called and said, hey, I'm sorry it took me so long to call you, but I got my baby back. Mr. Patel didn't flee. Mr. Patel was in for a while after this alleged interaction. He was in Walmart for almost 10 minutes after this alleged interaction, still looking for the Tylenol. He talked to at least 3 employees after this alleged interaction. So during this time that the police have said that he fled, he remained in Walmart for a full 8 minutes. He talked to 3 different employees, and he passed Miss Miller 3 times. He used his debit card, and then he waited at the door and talked to an employee for over 30 seconds. I'm going to show you if you want to pull up. So what we've done is we have a couple different videos. One of them, because nobody wants to watch 20 different surveillance videos, one of them shows Mr. Patel coming in. And if you want to go ahead and start playing that. And then I can show you the exact interaction that he...
If I can be heard, this isn't a trial to bond hearing. And so I would encourage the court to consider the legal bond considerations. I'm not sure that this is pertinent to that. If they want to submit this for the court review, if they believe that they can articulate why it's pertinent to the issue of bond, which is the narrow issue we have today, I can understand that, and we can have that discussion. But if we're just playing videos to try the case in a bond hearing, the state would object to that. It's not relevant.
You have
now here, y'all heard what he just said. She wants to show video to show the court that he is not a threat to the community. Honestly, that this never even happened, and he should be granted bond. Him representing the court, the state, stepped up and said, I don't see the relevance of showing the video. There's no reason why you would show the video. We're here for a bond hearing. The bond, watch her response.
or relevancy objection.
Judge, I can't imagine anything that's more relevant than a video of the alleged incident. If you were trying to determine bond and you had a video of what the accused is accused of doing, that could potentially be the most relevant information you would ever have in a bond hearing, whether or not someone actually did what they're accused of. And the other thing is the state has alleged that he had flight, that he fled. That's been alleged from the beginning by the police. There's no, part of the bond factor is significant risk of fleeing or failure.
Y'all heard that part, right? The police said, for all y'all people that believe everything the police said that he tried to snatch her kid and tried to flee, tried to run. You don't think that the video would help help you figure out whether you should give this man his freedom? He's still got to come back to court, y'all. Remember, this is not he's an innocent or guilty person at this point. It's just that, can he get a bond to get the fuck out of jail? You think the video might help you figure that out? Because you seem like they hyped it up. It's like first they charged him with kidnapping. Then after he went through his magistrate hearing, they dropped it down to attempted kidnapping. But after it was already kidnapping, he couldn't get a bond then. So they got him locked in. So this is the very next time, 41 days later. 41 days later that he's in front of a judge. Just sitting in jail. Sitting in jail, y'all. But the state doesn't think it's relevant to the bond hearing. Even though y'all done reduce y'all charges. This is some sick ass shit, y'all. Either way, to me it is. To me. Some of y'all, it might not be. But to me it is. But watch this.
Failure to appear in court. No. Is he a danger or a threat to anybody? You need to watch the video. He's not. He's clearly not. Is he at risk of committing any future felonies? No. I mean, I think it's highly relevant. And I would imagine the court would want to see this.
Well, I'll overrule the objection. As I read the pleadings, I looked at it as possible evidence that he would come to court, and that he is not flight risk. Of course, I haven't seen the video, right? So I don't know what it's going to show me, but I'll let you do that. And just so everybody knows, I have my own monitor down here. I'm not staring at the floor. So
wonderful.
I'll let you do that.
Thank you so much. All right, and this is the compilation. So the reason that we did this part is to kind of show the timeline. You can go ahead and play it. The timeline for the court when Mr. Patel enters the store at 8:16. And then you can see him walking, and he's on his phone, texting his daughter, which can be corroborated by the phone when we get it. Now you see him, he's walking to the pharmacy section. This is the pharmacy section. And now this is when he actually interacts for the first time with Miss Miller. So that's Miss Miller in the cart, in the scooter. The first time that they've met, and they're obviously talking about the Tylenol. And so the gentleman, you can see a gentleman in an orange shirt behind them. That's the gentleman I was talking about. That's the witness. His name is Mr. Leyva.
All right.
He's the one that later assists.
All right.
And witnessed the whole thing. So this is the other view, so you can see how close Mr. Leyva is. And behind this display cart is that's when you can see the beginning of Miss Miller's cart. So the alleged incident is happening now. Here's the other view of it, flipping back so you can see both views. That's the alleged incident right there. Then she points.
Yeah, man, y'all already know. Y'all already know what time it is, man. That dude tried to snatch that goddamn kid up, bro. He tried to take that kid from that lady, man. I don't know where he was gonna go. But Johnson, open and shut case. Sprinkle some crack on him. We got him. Open and shut case, man. He tried to snatch that kid.
He moves on, goes to get the Tylenol. She backs up into the display cart. She's laughing, joking with this gentleman. This is literally a split second after this alleged kidnapping. You see your child kind of get off the cart.
Yeah, what kind of person is smiling and laughing and running into shit right after their kid was just possibly abducted? Almost like somebody just attempted to abduct your child. And you're smiling and laughing at the very next person you see. It makes you wonder, did the officer watch this video?
She runs over the child's foot. The guy jumps in to help.
Done ran over her child foot, y'all. Ran her little girl foot over. He come to help. So Mr. Patel done said that, y'all, let me come back on screen for this. Mr. Patel said that he tried to help her catch the baby. After they arrested him and took him to jail, they was like, yeah, you tried to snatch the kid. It's like, no, She was about to drop the kid. I tried to help her catch the kid. Let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video where he supposedly tried to snatch the kid.
Interacts for the first time with Miss Miller. So that's Miss Miller in the cart, in the scooter. The first time that they've
If he was gonna snatch the kid, why didn't he just snatch the kid right then?
met, and they're obviously talking about the Tylenol. And so the gentleman, you can see a gentleman in an orange shirt behind them. That's the gentleman I was talking.
Now y'all see that she holding the baby in one arm. She driving the cart with this hand, holding her son in this arm. Her daughter sitting in between her legs on them little electric carts they have at Walmart.
Talking about this, the witness, his name is Mr. Leva.
All right.
He's the one that later assists
All right.
and witnessed the whole thing.
Baby just hanging over there.
So this is the other view, so you can see how close Mr. Leva is. And behind this display cart is that's when you can see the beginning of Miss Miller's cart. So the incident,
He turned around, he looking. This is when he was supposedly snatching the baby up. This guy's looking. He's snatching the baby up.
alleged incident is happening now. Here's the other view of it, flipping back so you can see both views. That's the alleged incident right there.
That's him trying to snatch that baby. Or could it very possibly be that she was about to drop her damn son on that hard-ass Walmart floor and he caught the fucking baby? He's looking back. Look at him. Look at the guy. He's looking over there. She says she's sitting here for 10 seconds, tugging and warring with this guy about her child. The guy's turned around looking over there. She got a baby in one hand. He says the baby was about to fall. I'm gonna skip ahead because we can clearly see what happens right after, which would corroborate his story if somebody would have looked at the fucking video. But they chose not to. What happens after he walks away?
Into the display cart. She's laughing, joking with this gentleman.
Probably high on
It's literally a
drugs.
split second after this alleged kidnapping. You see her child kind of get off the cart. She runs over the child's foot.
Her daughter gets off and she runs over her own daughter's foot with the cart. Probably high on drugs. Probably high on drugs. Yep, I said it. Probably high on drugs.
The guy jumps in to help. She was having trouble with the cart. I mean, that's
She ain't try to say he tried to kidnap the kids though, did she? She ain't try to say the white man tried to kidnap her kids though, did she? I'm gonna get to my point in a second.
everybody says that. All of this is after this alleged kidnapping has taken place.
It's some sick ass shit, man.
There's Mr. Patel entering the video again. You see him walking past. He talks with this guy that's witnessed this alleged kidnapping. Miss Miller's right there. Doesn't say a word.
Remember, y'all, he just tried to kidnap her child. He just tried to kidnap her child. No yelling, screaming, help, 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 help. I'm a white woman, help, well, help, help, white woman, help. None of that. Just running in the shit, running over your daughter, laughing, giggling, cruising USA. Let's keep going.
She's puttering along in her cart. He's chatting with this gentleman, asking about the Tylenol. This gentleman speaks Spanish, so the communication's a little bit difficult there. Mr. Patel goes to try and find a Walmart employee. He walks past Miss Miller again. There's that other interaction I mentioned, the third interaction, walks past her to find a Walmart employee. Again, this is all after this alleged kidnapping, so, he's not fleeing. Want to find another employee. There's the employee walking him back to the Walmart pharmacy to show him where the Tylenol is. So you can see Miss Miller puttering along in her cart in the back of this video.
Walk past that bitch twice. After he so-called tried to kidnap your kid. Walk past her once to go find an employee. Walk back with the employee past the same person that just tried to kidnap your child. You not freaking out. You not raising your hands, yelling, asking for help. None of that.
This employee shows Mr. Patel where the Tylenol is. Miss Miller puttering along still on her cart. Mr. Patel walks past her, shows her, look, I got the Tylenol. She gives him a thumbs up.
He just tried to kidnap your son, girl. Why you giving this man a thumbs up? Why ain't you yelling? Why ain't you got the Walmart usually have a police officer on duty and they're getting paid off duty, getting paid good money. You telling me you not yelling at the top of your lungs? This man to walk past you 3 times, and the 3rd time he walked past you, he talks to you and show you that he came to get the Tylenol that he told everybody he came to get in the very beginning. Somebody make this make sense to me. Somebody make this make sense to me. That man that just walked past her, showing her that he got the Tylenol he was asking her about after he tried to kidnap her kid, walks back and shows her that he got the Tylenol. But he been in jail for 41 fucking days.
He keeps going. That's when, at 8:27, that's when she first told this Walmart employee about this. At the same exact time, Mr. Patel is paying for his Tylenol, so he's still in the store.
Remember, y'all, the cop said he was fleeing. He fled after he did this. After he tried to snatch that kid up, the cop, on a sworn affidavit to get a warrant, said he fled. I ain't never seen somebody flee from the scene of a crime and go straight to the cash register and check out. Ever in my life.
And you can see if you zoom in, and we didn't do that, but it's the rapid release Tylenol. It's special gel Tylenol that it's the exact same label that his daughter texted him a picture of to buy. And Mr. Patel has no medical background. It's not surprising that he's asking his family for help. His wife's a doctor, his daughter's in medical school. So, I mean, it's not surprising he's asking for assistance with this. Pays with his card, in his name, linked to his bank account.
He's fleeing, y'all. He's fleeing. He's fleeing.
Complete opposite of fleeing.
He's fleeing. Y'all, he's fleeing. Look at him. He's fleeing. He trying to snatch a kid up. He's fleeing. But hold on. Let me stop and talk to this guy after I pay for my shit too, though.
I mean, he's like the typical elderly gentleman who talks to everybody at the store.
He's fleeing. He's fleeing. Oh, he fled.
And then he leaves. 8:28.
He fled. Y'all, we miss it. He fled, y'all. He fled. We got Miss Jackson up in the building, man. Look, y'all, you see that Indian man fleeing after he tried to snatch that little kid up?
Man, he walked out the door by himself, and then they talking about you got cameras surrounded all in the public place, all in front of the buildings and stuff. What did they catch on camera? Where he snatched the child. It's just somebody adding up with it to me.
Oh look, I'm gonna get to what I think it is, and I ain't finna hold my tongue on it, but let the people know where to find you at real quick, like.
Oh, I'm Kenique Jackson. You can reach me at on YouTube at School for Justice, where we talk about truth, facts, and it goes down plus more. I'll be glad to have you.
Y'all make sure y'all go support. I'm having a little audio issue, so I know y'all see my bubble below me talking because I got that hooked up to my phone, but you know, I got to keep the good camera going. But how much of this have you seen so far?
Well, not a whole lot, but just basically the basics of it, where the young lady is saying that he abducted her. Okay, but to my understanding, there's been no evidence. Basically, her word against his, and that he's been incarcerated for the past 40 days with no bond. And so they're just kind of, it's still investigating the case from there.
That's pretty good. That's pretty much the gist of it. Here you go. I'm gonna let his attorney keep talking. Because pretty much this is his bond hearing. She's trying to get him a bond. He couldn't get a bond initially when they talked to the magistrate judge because the cops labeled the offense at kidnapping. But later on, they dropped it down to attempted kidnapping. And we're seeing the video. So the question is still up in the air. What the fuck did the cop look at to come to those charges outside of what that woman said happened? So I'm gonna let his attorney keep talking. I'm gonna let his attorney keep talking.
8:29 leaves. And Judge, so I've got the two videos of that alleged interaction if you want to see them. I don't want anybody to think anything's been taken out of anything, or, I mean, it's all on here, but what we did with this compilation is try to show both sides, back and forth. I don't want to take up the court's time needlessly, but we have those. We're ready to show them. Happy to show them if you'd like to see them. I don't know what the court, would you like to see the just those interactions?
I don't know that I need to. If you think it's important, I will.
No, I don't think it's important. All right, Judge. So moving on. So the other things that the evidence in this case, there's two alleged witnesses, the Walmart employee and Mr. Leyva. Mr. Leyva is mentioned on the warrant. Both of them, we've interviewed them. Both of them had said if they'd seen a kidnapping.
Now she's talking about the two people, the black girl that showed him where the Tylenol was and the guy that was in the orange Nike shirt. Those are the two people she's speaking about right now. The orange guy that looked back when he supposedly tried to snatch the kid, and the black girl that walked him to the aisle to show him where the Tylenol is. That's who she's speaking about right now.
Kidnapping, an assault, an attempt, anything like that, they would have stepped in, that they were there, didn't see it. They all confirmed the Walmart was busy. There were lots of people around. The Walmart employee said that Mr. Patel was a friendly older gentleman, was very friendly with her, kind of gave her like a hug almost, like she was so happy when she finally helped him find the Tylenol. She said that she didn't know what was going on with Miss Miller, but she's not permitted to ask what her handicap is, but she said it was suspicious that she didn't scream, call 911, anything like that. And then Mr. Leyva,
that's the female employee at Walmart saying like, oh, somebody tried to snatch your kid. You didn't scream, yell, anything. That's a woman saying that to you. Does that make sense to you, Ms. Jackson? Let's say somebody try to snatch your kid up in Walmart. You telling me you ain't gonna yell?
Red flag, man. It don't even make sense. And if it don't make sense, like Judge Judy say, it ain't true.
Let's keep going.
The gentleman in the orange shirt that you saw, again, he said that Mr. Patel lifted the child like the child's father, and that Miss Miller sort of pulled back the child. There was no tug of war. Mr. Leyva actually was mistaken and thought it was the younger child that all this was happening with. He was kind of confused, but the one thing he was sure about was that there was no attempted abduction, and had he seen anything like that, he was close enough that he would have stepped in and done something. He also told us that there were lots of people that witnessed the interaction. He speaks Spanish, so we had a Spanish interpreter interview him because there was definitely a language barrier with him, though. Mr. Patel talked to the police. He answered the police's questions. He told the police that he leaned in to pick the child up so that she could show him where the Tylenol is. He told them that.
Where was this?
At the police station when he was arrested. So he was arrested on March 21st. So before, they didn't talk to Mr. Patel. The police got the warrant for kidnapping. They arrested Mr. Patel on March 21st. They took him to the police department and interviewed him. When they interviewed him, and the state has not provided us a copy of this, but this is based on pleadings and Mr. Patel, what transpired there. He said that he did. I mean, he confirmed that he leaned in to pick the child up so that she could stand up and show him where the Tylenol was. At that point, he believes, as anyone would, that she's handicapped. And she's got two young children, which you can clearly see she's having some trouble with the cart. It's a reasonable thing. And if you think that there's a child that's falling or might fall and someone's trying to stand up to help you, the reasonable thing would be to help that person. The state in one of their pleadings pointed out that he did not tell the police specifically that he thought the child was falling, but nobody asked him that either. He also said that they didn't ask him if he told Miller immediately that he was trying to help her. But what he explained was that Miller didn't want his help. As soon as he realized that, he stopped, put his hands back in his pocket, and moved on. So we're talking a few seconds here, and he's trying to help. She says she doesn't want his help. He pulls back. You can see it, and you can see it on the video. And we know Mr. Patel cares for his 86-year-old elderly mother. We know why he's there. He's not there for a sinister purpose. Judge, I anticipate the state's probably going to focus a lot on Mr. Patel and his prior record. Mr. Patel has a conviction from a 2006.
And I'm not even gonna let her go through that because that's what people always do. And I'll go to the very beginning of these comments underneath the video where these people who I'm gonna say something about, who I'm about to let off on at the end of this, had to say things about them. But I'm not even gonna let that come in because it's a whole bunch of bullshit. So I'm gonna just skip ahead real quick,
point out before moving on, because I think it'll save us some time. The state had mentioned to us that they wanted some type of a protective order for the discovery. We've not been able to get discovery in this case. The case was indicted April 3rd. We opted in on April 7th. We have asked repeatedly to get the state's file. Mr. Merchant tried yesterday. He was supposed to go and review the open file, was denied access to that. They said they're copying it, so we should be getting it. But one of the issues was they want to make sure that we don't disseminate any witness information. We have not disseminated witness information, and we will not be disseminating witness information, although that information is already out in the news. And it's not surprising. There's quite a bit that's out there, that's public. Ms. Miller did quite a few press conferences early on in the case, press interviews, and obviously we have done that in response. But her information's out there. There's a lot of public police reports.
The police said that they didn't want to give over any information that they had on their side because they didn't want the victim, the woman, information to get out there because people might target her. But she's been all over fucking TV doing interviews talking about, you need to be on the lookout. They'll snatch your kid at any time. They're showing her house. She's been talking about the issue over and over and over again, but they don't want people to know who she is. That's what the police are saying. Make that make sense.
Well, it doesn't sound like good. It doesn't sound like good protective custody because she's revealing herself. She putting herself out there and telling everyone else or the public who she is. So, you know, hey, I mean, you don't need the police to protect your identity when you already putting yourself out there. So it
you're right in front of a camera for everybody to see.
Yeah.
So, but here you go. But once again, that's the excuse the police are using not to give the defense, his attorneys, information that would prove his innocence. We need to know what you got because we know what we got, and what we got showing that he ain't do nothing. So what do you got? So maybe that'll make us readjust our argument. They don't want to give it up because, you know, she might be in danger, even though she's all over fucking TV. Come on now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Shout out to Hurricane. He says salute, 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 salute. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And he says salute to the panel too. You, Miss Jackson. Chat and panel. All right, now. Let's keep going.
Involving her that has her address. And so we are certainly not providing that to anybody. We will agree not to provide it to anybody. We already have it and haven't provided it to anybody. But I know the state's concern was over witness information. We haven't released it. We wouldn't release it, but it's really not hard to find. There's over 20 police reports in the last 7 years involving Ms. Miller. It's not hard to find this information.
I don't know how that's relevant to the bond motion that we have today, Judge. So
and you heard that, right? You heard that last part she said before he stood up and tried to run his little dick sucking mouth? There's over 20 police reports involving this lady who made the claim against him, whether she's a victim or whether she's the aggressor. Over 20. Over 20. I'm gonna let her say it again. And he stood his ass up quick. Look how quick he's standing his ass up.
Quite a few press conferences early on in the case, press interviews, and obviously we have done that in response. But her information's out there. There's a lot of public police reports involving her that has her address. And so we are certainly not providing that to anybody. We will agree not to provide it to anybody. We already have it and haven't provided it to anybody. But I know the state's concern was over witness information. We haven't released it. We wouldn't release it, but it's really not hard to find. There's over 20 police reports in the last 7 years involving Ms. Miller. It's not hard to find this information.
I don't know how that's relevant to the bond motion.
Man, he did his ass up quick. Oh, hold up now.
Yeah, objection. Okay, so question. Within the past 20 years, over 20 police reports from Miss Miller over the past 7 years to who? I guess she's saying just to a variety of people, or is this to this one perpetrator, to the suspect?
No. This lady, and I really want to save it for the end, but she's made a lot of police reports and has been involved in a lot of police reports. You know how they like to go and grab every time it's one of us? They want to go and look at our criminal history or our background to see if we can. Well, guess what? She did it too. She did it for her. The attorneys will do it. She was like, oh, okay, so this is the person that's accusing you. I saw the video. Okay, let's look into her.
Right. So she has a history or a pattern of doing this to other people in a nutshell.
Yep, pretty much. And she got a criminal history too. She got a criminal history too. But this ain't the first time she done accused somebody of something. But the police didn't do no investigating. But that's gonna be another part of what I want to say at the end. But either way, I'm gonna let her keep going because I want you to see what happened after this got done, after she got done making her case. For this man to get bond. That's all she wants. She just want him to get bond so he can go be with his family and Look, he was at Walmart for his sick ass mama. His mama old and sick. She needed a Tylenol. He's her caretaker. Y'all done locked this man up. Going to Walmart trying to get some Tylenol.
Oh, wow.
Let's keep going.
Today, Judge, so I would object to that.
It's relevant to the protective order. I'm sorry, I was deviating for a moment just on the protective order, but I can save that and argue that separately.
All right.
Okay. So as far as bond, the last thing I wanted to point out to the court is my client's ties to the community. Judge, my client, he's got friends. He actually has friends here that he grew up with and went to high school with in India that have flown in.
And I'm not even gonna cover that part. I'm not even gonna cover that part about his ties to the community. The man is in the community. He rents to people. He has businesses. He was an engineer. His wife was a doctor. Like, his kids are in school to be lawyers and doctors. Like, he's a staple in the community. Put it like that.
Right.
He one of them people that, like, look, man, he doing good. He ain't never had no history of fucking around for real. Like, that's what it is. So pretty much after her arguing this point, y'all, this was the scene at the courthouse after this bond hearing. And I know some people are going to come in and say the justice system is working out. I'll tell you it ain't, but I'll tell you why it ain't afterwards. But this is the scene after everything transpired. She got his ass out. She got him out. But we're going to fast forward all this walking and get him up here to the camera because I want people to stop doing this. I'm really going to say this. Stop being so fucking forgiving for people that will lie on you and trying to ruin your life. But he's an older gentleman, and this is what he had to say. She got him out, y'all.
I feel great. It's freedom that's called now. Finally, I'm out.
So happy to be out.
So happy to be out.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
I was there for 47 days, absolutely. I counted every hour and every minute over there.
How does it feel being able to walk outside, be with your family, with your daughter?
It feels great. It feels great. It could not happen without all these guys right here in my circle. Didn't help me.
What was it like all that time, those 6 weeks you were in there?
Well, I'm a perseverance guy, so you got to take it one day at a time. A lot of ups and downs in the days, but I knew we had a team outside helping me. So one day we'll see the light out, and then we see it today.
Yeah, put it in perspective. I asked if he had clothes. He said, well, I have winter clothes because I went into jail. It was
That's
still
right.
winter.
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
it. And I have a jacket actually too, black jacket, because that day it was in the 40s when I got picked up.
Yeah.
So like I don't even have clothes even. Yeah, it was a tough time over there. But
What was your reaction when you got arrested?
I said that I cannot even dream about somebody alleging me for doing this kind of thing. Forget about me dreaming to do this. So it was a shocker. In fact, I didn't even realize why they were arresting me in the first place. And they took me in Acworth. And that's when I realized that this is what it was all about. I thought they had the wrong guy or something. So we had no idea.
But he wants to go home and, eat a hunk of meal and be with his family and get a shower. Yeah, what are you going to do first? Yeah, what are you going to do first?
I got to take a shower. I'm a picky about food, but I told my daughter and wife, I said, I don't care. Better than what I got over there. I'll take it any day, any moment. So any food I will eat.
Very quickly seeing all your supporters.
Yeah. I wanted to thank actually Ashley Merchant. Here's my daughter. She is Elena is the champion. She is the one who worked day and night for me. And she's the one got Ashley on the team. I shouldn't do it without my little girl.
You've gotten 47,000 signatures. How do you feel about all the support?
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how I would be able to pay the thing for great food.
Everyone that had supported him his whole journey and without question. And we are really very glad.
I could not believe that this many supporters came out today, or inside and outside the courtroom to support me. I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for that.
Mahendra, it's just happy, positive.
Yeah, happy positive. I think they came
You better hug your other daughter, man. Your other daughter standing right behind you. Hug everybody up but your other daughter. You better hug her
Do
too.
you feel like any of this has to do with race at all?
I don't want to comment that. I mean, it's a very sensitive issue. I know. I don't know what goes through the mind of people when they do that. We don't play racism in our life. We take it whatever the card we get in. But I was reading a Bhagavad Gita actually inside, okay, which is a Hindu scripture, you know it. And then when I was coming out, one of the inmates, who's a white inmate there, he said, "Can I get this Gita? Can I get this Gita?" I said, "Of course you can get a Gita. We'll send you 10 of them if you want to." So they were reading as well. And I think it's a bigger thing God put me in. I don't know why. They just kicked me out of the road and put me over there for 47 days. We'll figure it out. We'll pray for it and see what his message is, what he want me to do.
How excited are you to actually clear your name, be out there in front of it now?
Well, we haven't cleared yet. We still have to go. I think this is the first step in the right direction. I think it goes beyond me, actually, that, you are innocent until you are proven guilty. And sometimes, things doesn't work out. I'm so happy for my paralegal right here. He was overwhelmed. Lady.
How do you feel about what Caroline Miller is saying about you?
I don't know. I don't feel grievance about other people. That's what it is. We take it positively, everything in life, and whatever comes through, it's her karma. She will have to keep up with whatever she did, and we go about our life. But again, I want to thank all of them. It would never have happened because of this lady right here.
Are you hoping the DA will drop the charges?
When first day she came, you're like, you have no idea what is going on outside. But we gotta change your image over here. Yeah.
It's just such a wrong.
First few days were not good for our family and everybody, but we quickly turned around, and I'm so grateful for not only at London who came out inside and outside today, but also so many people from online, all across the country and out of country, in other countries as well, supported us all over in social media, and I could not be thankful.
So pretty much that's his rundown. And we got Hurricane up in the building. He said Kane the pack leader. All right now. Hurricane, real quick before I go any further into it, man, let the people know where to find you at, man.
What's good? You can see Hurricane W JW2 on YouTube, Hurricane JW on Facebook, Hurricane.2029 on Instagram, and I think Hurricane JW6 on Rumble. Yep, that's it. Revolutionary content. Check out my HHN special report and my Fuck the Government podcast. Yeah.
Real shit. I ain't gonna hold that. Hey, I'm going to Miss Jackson. You heard him speak after he got released on bond. What did you think about his press conference that he had? Outside of him not hugging his other daughter.
Well, I mean, I guess he expressed his emotions, in his own way when it comes to his family and his children. But overall, he was putting it out there that he didn't hold no grudges. He had, was forgiven the girl who did him wrong. They still got to go to court on it, and the truth will prevail at the trial. I think that's kind of where he's standing at, or, where he's at mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in the moment. And he still, remains to stand for his innocence. And so just let just have faith and hope and pray that the judicial system, will prevail, that truth will prevail in the judicial system. So, he seems like, to me, he's mentally more prepared to go to trial. And I just think that's where his mind frame is at right now in the moment.
Got you. I got you. Hurricane, give me your thoughts. Because I know you've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, my thoughts is, don't let the hood tell you how to think and feel. You got hate in your heart, let it out. Bitch, you try to ruin my life. Bitch, fuck you. It's simple.
Hey, look, we need it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I gotta hit that girl with a little bit of this, y'all.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Took it back to the motherfucking Pilgrim days.
I'm really irritated, and this is the part where I say I'm gonna let off, y'all. In the grand scheme of things, the young lady, and if y'all didn't know, she's only 26 years old with 2 kids already.
Oh, damn.
And she is a baby mama. Like, I know how the news try to portray it like that the father of their kids, they're together and married and some shit. No, they're not. She got that dude on child support and shit. But she got out there and made an accusation about a man. Said that this Indian guy tried to steal her son away from her. And we watched the video of the interactions that they had inside of Walmart. And I'm gonna just say it, this white police officer who responded to her call, instead of doing his goddamn job and investigating what actually happened, looking at the video outside of just trying to figure out who the guy was, he just ran with it. He ran with it. He had this white woman say that this brown-skinned man tried to snatch her son, and his only objective was to find out who that guy was to arrest him. He put in false claims on the arresting affidavit to get a warrant to say that this man fled when that man, after that interaction with her, stayed in Walmart for over 10 fucking minutes. That don't seem like fleeing to me. And a magistrate judge, they need to be a little bit more on their P's and Q's about looking at evidence before they sign an arrest warrant. But they arrested this guy. And with the severity of the charges that officer tried to put on him, this man was not even allowed to get bond. He's been sitting in jail for 41 days. She said they tried to kidnap his son. They kidnapped that man. They kidnapped him. All because this white woman said some shit.
White woman.
I don't
I'm starting to think that the CSI cops are better than the real cops, and these motherfuckers are not real.
They not. That's not how they do policing. That's not how they do policing in America. And look, I've said, look, he said, hate in your heart, let it out. And look, if y'all want it, y'all get it, man. I get y'all, man.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you
Hey, what's in gonna come out? You can't stop it.
Yup. Yeah, but it's more race bait, hate bait shit. They just motherfucking pushing the gas on it. Now they do the Carmelo Anthony, with the fucking white racist lady that was the fucking yelling at the kid. Now they got this shit. That's a wrap. It's a wrap. Push the gas on that shit.
Like, I'm really and the sad part, this is our second go around with it. And I'm gonna say it. Just because you got that orange fucking jolly fat boy in the White House, don't mean that you can just run off at the mouth and do crazy shit.
Exactly.
And
Revolution is coming.
Yeah, even when Democrats was in there, they were all about this believe all women type shit and just hem a dude up. At least, at the bare fucking minimum, can you do your fucking job and investigate? Can you do your job and investigate? Y'all cannot tell me that a man sat in jail. I understand that, yeah, he heard what she said, and you took the word of her. You had 41 days to look at the video, and we're still sitting in court, and this man is begging for a fucking bond? So that tells me there's an issue going on. Because yes, you could have wrongfully arrested somebody. Wash your hands of it. We just went off of what the victim said. We made an arrest, and we're going to look at it afterwards. You don't even care to fucking look at the goddamn video to see that she was fucking lying. You would rather prosecute this man in jail for 41 fucking days?
Yeah. Lock the girl up and fire the cops. Fire everyone that's involved. Like, lock the bitch up and fire everybody else. That's my solution. That's a superintendent.
They would rather
Superintendent Chalmers.
Look, they would rather prosecute this man to the fullest extent of the law than to admit they made a problem. They made a mistake.
Yup.
And that's the country
or
we live
they
in.
need to admit we need the money. We want the money for his name and shit. We don't give a fuck if he innocent or guilty. We don't want that name. Get that man.
I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you what it is. The free labor gonna come in hand because a lot of people think slavery is illegal in the United States. We abolish it. No, it's not. If you go to prison, your ass can be a slave. They can enslave your ass. But outside of that, we are living in a climate, and we all know what climate is, especially for us melanated people. These people are emboldened. They want to see the evil in anybody that don't look like them. And they want it to be true. They want it to be true. When that lady said that man did it, that officer wanted it to be true. And he looked for every reason to make it true. And he ignored every reason to show that he was innocent. Because there is no reason that any human being could sit there and watch that fucking video. You could have talked to the people in Walmart. You could have really ran them entire videos back and saw that was not the case of what she claimed. But you went with it. And then the prosecutor, the state of fucking Georgia, Cobb County, the same place where they tried to prosecute Young Thug and had to throw the fucking case out, ran with it. Why? Like, a lot of people can't sit here and say they don't understand. They can't see. Dude, they wouldn't have did that to no white dude. They wouldn't have did it to him.
For real.
If it was a black woman claiming this white dude touched them, that shit, they would have looked at that video right then and there and tried to prove whether it happened. They probably would have never even arrested the motherfucker. They probably would have interviewed him, but they probably would have never arrested him if they would have watched that video and saw that shit.
For real.
Hey, but the sad thing about it is you got stuff on camera. You got stuff on video. And they still letting them get away with crimes that they commit, police officers and all. I know y'all heard about Tyese Nicholas. His case. Nicholas. 3 cops popped out him. It's caught on camera, and they got off. You know, it's another little case down in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Patrick Leola case. Yeah. And where the police officer is caught on camera deleting him in the back of his head. Put a bullet in the back of his hand, blew his brains out in the back of his head. It was declared a mistrial. So I mean, you know, you got shit on camera, and so that goes. And then now you can't even. There's no evidence being brought to full circle here on camera to say that this man is guilty. And to me, it's just like a chain reaction of what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. You know, it's crazy.
Yep. It's backwards. It's so backwards on this planet.
It's not backwards. Because the sad part is, and I'm going to say it, and for those it don't apply to, let it fly. But if it applies to you, I can understand why you get mad. We've had a sickness in this country since the inception of this country. We've had a sickness in this country since the inception of this country. There's a group of people who sit around and call out the evil and the bad behavior in everybody else while ignoring their own. That Tyre Nichols case is a good example. That was an all-white jury that watched 3 black cops beat a black man to death, and they said nothing wrong.
That's
nothing to see here. That's bullshit. We all watched it. They tried to cover it up. They got convicted on the federal level, but I guess white people are tired and they're fed up. They're fed up with what? Fed up with what? But they're fed up, y'all. These motherfuckers are sick in the head. Anybody that defends that shit is a goddamn devil walking this earth. And I don't care how you fucking feel about it. Suck my left fucking nut. Real shit. Woo! This is some bullshit that's going on in this country. And a lot of y'all white folks need to get that shit in check. I understand that y'all feel some type of way because you're losing power. You losing all the look, I get it, man. Y'all think that people gonna do to y'all what y'all did to other folks. Y'all swear up and down y'all ain't did nothing to nobody. But y'all scared now because your population is dwindling. Like for real.
I'm thinking about it.
Ain't nobody finna do nothing to y'all. Just gonna tell y'all that right now. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to y'all unless y'all come fucking with somebody. But this evil, bro. I'm trying to tell you, this evil that's being displayed right now. You can watch a man get beat to death in the middle of the night, and you okay with it. Y'all want to hear him Tyre Nichols up, but y'all didn't say that to that white boy that stabbed that Mexican boy 4 fucking times and got him off. Everybody want to act like that didn't happen.
Right.
Carmelo Anthony stabbed a kid 1 time and said he did it.
Man, it's sad the world we live in today.
Look, man, Carmelo Anthony stabbed a kid 1 time in the chest and said he did it in self-defense. Y'all called him a thug. You said he came from a single-parent household. All this shit. But you had a white boy in the same fucking state that stabbed a Mexican kid 4 fucking times, and you acquitted this motherfucker. You hit him with the lowest charge where he might just get probation. We not playing at games with y'all, bro. I'm not even gonna throw out Kyle Rittenhouse. I ain't even gonna get him. The only reason I
This
get him,
nigga was playing a video game. With the judge. I never seen nothing like that before in my life. I wanted to shoot myself. Like, what
hey,
the
look,
fuck?
Dylan Roof. Think about it. Dylan Roof. Go into a black church and shoot up all them black folks, and they take that motherfucker to Burger King before they take him to jail.
Yup.
But you talk about the sickness that we do.
Exactly.
The evil that we do. We're not playing that game with y'all. Look, the shit's getting called out. And tomorrow is gonna get called out because we are covering Carmelo Anthony situation with the Metcalf. We're gonna cover that situation. I know some people that throw out, well, you got a father that just ran over a cop because they shot his son. Yeah, they shot his son in the back 4 fucking times. And we got a lot of people. I want y'all to really understand this.
Which is
we got a lot of Now here, just let me say this real quick. We got a lot of people in this generation that are not our ancestors.
4 times, man. That's pure deletion.
Yeah, they tried to execute a kid and then lied about it. But this generation, I want y'all to truly understand this, and this is for my white folks, because we don't got no hate for y'all. We really want some change, and honestly, we'd rather get the fuck away from you because we see that y'all got hate for us. Y'all always in our business. I don't care what y'all talking about. Y'all say y'all not. Y'all always want to know what the black folks doing. We'd rather get away from you. But at the grand scheme of things, I want you to truly understand this. And this is not no declaration of no war, no shit like that. Because I know some people are coming to try to say that dumbass shit. We are not our goddamn grandparents and our grandfathers. You do something to us, we're going to do something back to you. I'm just telling you that. We not that turn the other cheek so you can slap us in the other one. We're not that past generation. They shot that man's son on a goddamn Monday. He ran one of y'all motherfuckers over on a Tuesday. That's the type of shit that y'all gonna get. And I know some people want it. Some people want that type of shit so they can start their little race work they want. But I'm trying to tell you, we are not the past generations. We not letting that shit slide, man. Stop doing this shit.
They know it. And they know it.
They hemmed that man up because he was brown skinned for fucking 41 days because a white woman said something about him because y'all got some deep seat hatred in your fucking heart. You need to get it out. Or you need to go talk to somebody. Because a lot of y'all gonna bust hell wide the fuck open. Y'all claim y'all Christians while y'all out here supporting a genocide across the goddamn border. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. But that's look, I'm gonna let y'all get y'all final thoughts because I'm gonna say more and I don't want to.
Yo, man.
Yeah, bro, man, I'm gonna go ahead and knock mine out the box because I might have to drop off. My phone running a little hot on my end, you know what I'm saying? But final thoughts of the night, you know, just hey, you gotta believe in the judicial system. There's still hope, and you never give up. You have to believe in morals, what's right, what justice and equality. You still got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything in life. And overall, the battle is about character. Okay, it's about character, standing up for what's right. Again, justice and equality, doing the right thing by your fellow brethren and wanting better for the world, for us to grow and prosper. You know, America is the greatest, wealthiest, was the blessed nation in the entire world. Let's show our appreciation, you know, how we was blessed in the most powerful nation in this world. And let's stay strong and stand firm on that. As far as not when people are lying on you and making false accusations, and just reverting back to one of your statements you made, Jay, of not just being so quick to forgive. Well, I wouldn't go against having a forgiving heart. That is a positive act and energy that we all need grace at one point in time in our life because nobody is perfect. At the same time, you just know you can't trust that person. You know, I'm personally going through an experience with that, and I've been through that. You know, we live and we learn. You know, even when I was much younger, I went through that, and I'm still growing and learning. So when a person show you who they are, definitely believe them. And again, you know, you just know to be on guard and not trust that person and see what they are capable of doing and who or what their character truly is. Okay, but final thoughts of the night. Once again, I'm glad and it's a blessing to come back on and spread knowledge and truth. And you all, I'm Kanique Jackson, and you all definitely can reach me at my platform on YouTube channel at School for Justice when we go live. Peace.
Well, make sure you hear tomorrow. We gonna have the Carmelo Anthony conversation. We gonna have it. Austin Metcalf. We don't talk about
it. Yeah.
But
matter of fact, I was looking for you Friday night, and last Friday night I was looking for you.
Look, man, I told you I was out there at that racetrack, man. I got back to the house, went to sleep, and I ain't wake up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. I got one of them things. I got you.
Yeah, my bad on that one. That's why I reposted it. So I resend the link out to everybody. I thought I sent it out, but I resend it out if I didn't. But Hurricane, hit me with it.
All right, final thoughts. Shit. I don't forgive. I don't forget. I will burn this country to the fucking ground. And like real shit, like you gotta remember the motherfucking police are slave catchers in Night Watch. And there was some fucking policeman that got on some type of fucking talk show talking about we're here to motherfucking do some incentive to take down blacks and Hispanics. So like it's part of their incentive to do it anyway. So you know, like you said before, Jay, the system is going exactly how it's supposed to be. We just gotta destroy it. Something gotta change. Something gotta happen. And until then, people are revolution. The only solution is revolution. Destroy your government now. I'm Hurricane. Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you on it, man. Look, I'm just getting tired of it, and this is just a replay, y'all. It's a replay of what happened 4 years ago. Regardless of whether people want to admit it or not, the racists have been emboldened to say what they want to say. That's how you can get a woman that can call a black autistic kid, call him a nigga multiple times. And then somebody that comes up trying to defend the kid, call them a nigga too. Multiple times. And the sad part, she was saying that now ER, nigger. And people will raise money for it. This country is showing us who they are and who they always have been. Fake ass, weak ass, coon ass black boys like Tim Scott talking about we're past racism. We ain't past a goddamn thing. You got white people in this country blaming black people and other minorities for their problems when white folks run this shit. It ain't nobody but white folks. I don't understand how that doesn't click in their head besides you just want to be hateful. Your people run this shit. Everything that happens in this country is your people's doing. Stop blaming people at the bottom trying to get something. But your automatic default is blame them over there. You always look down. You never look up. They always talk about Lyndon B. Johnson. I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson or whoever the fuck talking about how I had them black folks voting Democrat for the rest of their life. They forget the other line when he said if he teach a white man that he's better than the lowest nigga, he'll vote for me. Y'all forget that line all the goddamn time. People need to wake the fuck up. Your own people fucking you over. It ain't us doing it to you. And the sad part is a lot of us have been the moral compass of this country. Because all this democracy that y'all talking about, y'all didn't even have democracy for yourselves. Only rich white men that own property had goddamn democracy, bitch. We fought for that shit. You need to learn your fucking history and change your goddamn life. I don't know what's wrong with you, but I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Look, we gonna get off a little bit more tomorrow. That lady's sick. She need to be in jail, but I know they're not gonna prosecute her because she's a white woman. It's bullshit, but it is what it is. But look, man, I appreciate all y'all that tuned in tonight, man. Y'all hit that like, y'all hit that subscribe, share the videos, turn the notice on. We'll be back here tomorrow. We will be covering the stabbing of the Austin Metcalf and the Tyreek or the Carmelo Anthony, and we'll see how it play out. The link will be in the description because I want the more the merrier, and hopefully my audio's right. But we'll holler at y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.